Tēnā koutou katoa, take kōwhiri, nā mai haere mai ki tēnei hui, ko Jane Mears taku ingoa. Welcome to the Electoral Commission. My name's Jane Mears and I'm the Deputy Chair of the Electoral Commission Board, and with me today is fellow board member and Chief Electoral Officer Carl Lecane, and the Chair, Dame Marie Schroff, is also present. Today the Auditor-General, John Ryan, released his review into aspects of the quality assurance processes in place for the count of votes for the 2023 general election. We fully accept the findings of the review and agree with the recommendations made to strengthen the way that votes are counted, recorded and checked, and work's already begun on those improvements. I'm going to go over what led to the review being undertaken, and then Carl will talk about the work underway to address the recommendations. After the official results of the 2023 general election were released, it was identified that an error had been made in the recording of votes at a voting place in one electorate. And as soon as we became aware of this, we carried out a full review of results and identified a small number of data entry errors. And we also found that a ballot box had been misplaced and not counted. The official results were amended and reissued on the 9th of November. The errors had no impact on the outcome in any electorate or for the allocation of seats in Parliament. They added 693 party votes to the count, most of those from the ballot box that hadn't been counted in the official count. And that's a small proportion of the almost 2.9 million votes that were cast in general election 2023. These were errors made by people under pressure, but they should have been picked up, and we deeply regret that they occurred. We quickly set about seeking an independent assessment of what had happened, and we entered into discussions with the Office of the Auditor-General, and they decided to conduct a review. I want to reiterate that the board maintains confidence in the overall integrity of the election processes and the results. But it's critical that the public have trust and confidence in the results of New Zealand's parliamentary elections, and that our processes identify and correct any errors before the official count is completed. The Auditor-General has identified several areas where we can improve our systems, and we're now working on addressing each of those recommendations. I'm now going to hand over to the Chief Electoral Officer, Carl Lecane, to go through the work that we've got underway already. Thank you.
Kia ora koutou katoa. We'd like to thank the Auditor-General for their comprehensive review. His office spoke to many of our staff, from electorate managers, staff in our national office, senior managers and board members. They also reviewed all of our documentation and were able to observe the official count for the Port Waikato by-election. What they found was our quality assurance controls at the general election were not as effective as they needed to be. Those checks did not pick up all the errors. One of the contributing factors was the 46% increase in enrolments or in enrolment updates during voting over 2020. There were 600,000 special votes, 100,000 more than in 2020. Those need to be processed before the results can be finalised. They put our staff and our timeline under huge pressure, leading to some of these checks not being undertaken. When people are under pressure, mistakes are more likely to happen and less likely to be detected. We accept those findings. Processing enrolments and counting votes is a manual process in our country. We need to make sure the checks are effective and identify all the errors. There are 7 recommendations and we've begun work on them already. We have underway an end-to-end review of our official count processes. We have updated our assurance framework, so we're more regularly undertaking assurance reviews of our key processes. We have 2 audits underway, one on our official count process and one on our enrolment processes, to make sure there are no other gaps and to identify any other improvements we need to make. They will then inform updating our operations manuals and our training for electorate staff. Making these improvements is a priority for us. In the meantime, we've strengthened some of those processes in case there are any by-elections. The board will closely monitor and report on these improvements so New Zealanders can trust the way elections are conducted and the results. Making these changes is a priority for us before the 2026 general election.